to our Facebook Live guided meditation. I'm Jamie, this is David.
Hi.
And we are coming to you live from PeaceHealth in Vancouver, Washington. We are so excited for today. We have been doing our Mindful Moments 2019 meditation challenge for a little while now. You've probably seen us on Facebook. And we basically were thinking, it takes about 21 days to form a habit. That's what we all read. And why don't we take 21 days to meditate? Starting in a new year, we want to add some calm to our lives. Folks talk about meditating helping you sleep better and lower your heart rate. And it's just a great way to kind of start off the new year. So we wanted to do a Facebook Live and help introduce folks to what a guided meditation is. And also, David is here to answer all of your questions. So, David, I thought it would be nice if you would introduce yourself a little bit to the audience today.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. So, hello, everyone. Like Jamie said, my name is David Rose, and I'm one of the directors in our Technology Solutions Department at PeaceHealth. I've been here about 8 years, and I really love working here because PeaceHealth really embraces this culture of mindfulness and meditation. So, we have a lot of programs going here, and it's just been wonderful to be a part of that. So, I got started with mindfulness and meditation about the same time I started at PeaceHealth, so about 8 years ago. And my dad handed me a book, and it was called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And you would not normally think that would be associated with meditation, but it's all about the power of thought and how you can manifest the things in your life through the power of thinking and crystallizing your thoughts and putting them into action. And one of the key chapters in the book talks about meditation specifically. So the book had kind of a profound impact on my life, and because of that chapter on meditation, I really got intrigued by it. And about that time, there was a lot of buzz out there about mindfulness kind of coming into the Western society a little bit more. Time magazine was publishing different articles about it. It was on the cover of Time, and I heard a lot of high-performing organizations like Google and Disney, and I think the Seahawks, as an example, were using meditation and mindfulness to enhance their work environment. And so I really became intrigued. So I think I've read about 15 books on the topic now, and I joined quite a few local meditation groups in the Portland area, and really just tried to steep myself in all the things I could learn about it. There's a lot of different philosophies out there. I brought what I knew about 3 years ago back to PeaceHealth in the form of a program that I put together. It was an 8-week program where we had about 35 caregivers here at our system office meet twice a week, and we learned about, I taught them about meditation and mindfulness, and it was really amazing. And we measured 35 data points at the beginning of the session around how folks dealt with stress and the challenges in their life. Everybody was dealing with a lot of the same things. And then we went through the program and we measured the same 35 things, and each person on all 35 points made marked improvement. So I was just really blown away, right? It was really phenomenal. And so so after that, just kind of continue to stay plugged in and help out where I can, and talk with folks. I do a lot of one-on-one stuff, and then we do some presentations here occasionally where I get involved. So just been a great, there again, PeaceHealth has really embraced this, and it's been fantastic to continue to be part of that.
Yeah, and we are so lucky that David has joined us for the Mindful Moments 2019 challenge. So if you've already registered, fantastic, welcome. If not, we do have our website, and it's listed on the top of this Facebook Live, so you can click on that link. And we also have it written on the board behind us. Hopefully it's large enough to see. But David's got a how-to video on that site, the 6 tips to get started meditating. We also have a couple of his guided sessions on the landing page too, so you'll see them there. So if you like today, if you like how things go and what this is, then going to that website is a really great way to find some other resources. Also consider registering for the challenge. We've got some prizes and some fun things, so it's there if you're interested. We'd also love for you to share, why you're getting started in meditation or interested, or any questions that you have for David. We'll have some time at the end to go over those. So please feel free to ask any questions in the comment section, and we'll have those towards the end. If you're just joining us, we are here doing a Facebook Live guided meditation with David Rose, and we're going to get started pretty soon. Looks like in about 4 or 5 minutes we'll get started. David will kind of talk about how to get comfortable and maybe how to get situated before we start, so just know that that's coming. But David, I thought just to kind of get us in the right frame of mind, I do have some basic questions. So I know that you got started with meditation about 8 years ago on a regular basis. So what have you found as far as like for your personal self and then just the greater good? Like what are the health benefits that come with meditating?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of health benefits. I, for one, I struggled a little bit with sleep at night or being able to fall asleep. And I noticed that when I started my meditation practice that that came a little easier. So I like to meditate in the morning, first thing when I wake up. And then I like to meditate in the evening before going to bed. I found that actually really helped me get kind of in a comfortable state of mind, and I was able to fall asleep a little bit better. There's so many benefits. I noticed being able to, concentration became a lot easier. I was able to stay focused.
I hadn't thought about that as a benefit.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think just a way of just coping with stress, just generally. So if you're in a stressful moment, you can meditate pretty much anywhere. One thing that really kind of stresses me out is traffic. I think we all kind of deal with that in the Portland area, and
or even today with the ice.
With the ice and snow, right? And so you want to be careful. Obviously, you aren't going to be falling asleep at the wheel, but you can meditate in your car, and sometimes on your commute home or to work, and if you're stuck in traffic, that's a good thing to kind of get yourself grounded, not feeling so stressed out. So
practice some breathing.
Yeah, some deep breathing is always super helpful. So so I think those are some things that really help out with your health overall.
Yeah, that's great. So you talked about meditating in the morning and evening, and I know in your 6 steps that we've listed on our website, you kind of said you could maybe start with 10 minutes a day and break it up if you wanted to. Is that kind of a good place to start? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think 10 minutes is definitely a good goal to start with. If it's too much all at once, as you mentioned, I think breaking it up into 2 5-minute sessions, that's how I started. It's crazy. It's kind of like, I tell folks this a lot, it's like going to the gym. You can't just go right into the gym. If you're starting your workout routine and go maximum intensity on the treadmill or lift the most weights right out of the gate, you have to kind of build yourself up to it. And so meditation is very much the same way, where you have to build it up. But I think 10 minutes is a good start, and you can incorporate that into any point of your day.
Nice.
Lunchtime's also a good time if you need a break in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I think lunchtime's good for folks that are working in offices. It maybe step away for a little bit, or if you can go to a common room and maybe put your headphones in and listen to some calming music. That's something I've actually seen folks do here at our office.
Yeah, they do.
Getting pretty popular. So in addition to finding those times during the day that you want to meditate, and we'll kind of go into this at the end with some questions and answers, but does meditating get easier? So if I start off, and I'm thinking, gosh, I don't know if this is for me, is this something that will get easier over time the more I do it?
Absolutely. You definitely build up some strength. They call it kind of brain training, and a lot of the newer philosophies out there, some of the Western folks who write books right now talk a little bit about brain training, but I think it gets easier personally. What you get is a different perspective. What you're doing in meditation, a lot of the time folks are wanting to shut off their thoughts, and they say, my mind's really chatty and I can't get it to stop. And really where you're getting to is an observation point. So in meditation, what you'll start to do is observe your thoughts differently, and that becomes easier to do. And the more that you start to observe your thoughts, you can then choose how you react to your thoughts and emotions. So that's really what the whole thing is about. It's really, it's pretty amazing. So as you do more and more, you'll be able to start to observe your thoughts differently and easier. And there's some different techniques to that. One's like labeling your thoughts and your emotions. So when those kind of are coming through your mind, you label
that like
them.
I feel angry, or I feel anxious, or
Absolutely.
I feel irritated?
And there's a difference in mindfulness around saying I'm angry versus I'm feeling or I'm experiencing anger.
Oh.
And so those are some different ways of categorizing your feelings. And
Okay.
the more you do that sitting in meditation, it really starts to help you. And then how you respond to those different feelings and thoughts. So
that's a really
yeah.
good point. I actually have one more question for David
Yeah.
before we get started, but we're going to do our guided meditation soon if you're just joining us. So get comfortable. We're going to get started real soon. And last kind of question before we jump into that is, and actually when David and I first started talking about meditation, this was one of my first questions. That was, what's the difference between meditation and mindfulness?
Yeah. That's a great question. Here's how I describe it. I don't know if this is out of any book or if you get a bunch of different answers, but I look at, I'm a sports person, so I think of, if I were to give an example, I'd say think of basketball and meditation. If somebody wants to get better at shooting free throws in the game, they're going to practice shooting free throws over and over again. That's the practice. And then in the game, when they're actually in the moment, they have the stress and the pressure. They're able to, they've built up a habit through that practice where they can then respond. And so I look at meditation as the practice, your daily practice, and then mindfulness is that awareness that you bring as you go about your day. And you build up more mindfulness as you meditate more. So it's kind of building that strength.
I like that.
Yeah.
So the good things start to come at that point.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah. Great
Okay.
question.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully everybody has joined us by now. We're going to get started with a guided meditation. And I don't know if everybody's been through one before, but David is going to take you through the steps and he'll let you know what you need to do. We're also going to have this recording on our Facebook page after the presentation, and we're also going to have it on our website. So if for some reason you don't catch something today, we're going to have this available later, so no worries there. And also, if you like this guided meditation, on our website we do have more guided meditations from David, so it's a good place to go visit for resources. And with that, I'm going to let David do his thing, so
Yeah.
I'll be back
Thanks,
afterwards.
Jamie. Yeah, sounds
with
good.
more questions.
All right. Maybe I'll get a little more centered in the camera here. All right. So one of the first things, actually, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a bonus meditation today, and before we get started with the guided one. And this is one that I teach as you can do pretty much anywhere. You could do this sitting in a meeting. You could do this standing in line at the grocery store, again in the car. But I call it a release of negative energy meditation. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to invite all of you to do this with me, and I'm going to talk you through it a little bit first, and then I'll have you just go through a few repetitions on your own. But I recommend, if you're able to, sit in a chair. You want a straight back chair, and you want to sit kind of in a dignified position, kind of energized. You don't want to be slouching or leaning too far back. And you want your feet flat on the floor. And for this one, you actually want to have your arms kind of at your sides, and I'll explain why in a minute. So for this meditation, what you want to do is breathe in deep through your nose, and a lot of meditations focus on breathing, and this one you actually want to take a deep inhale and feel it all the way down into your belly. And when you are breathing in, picture and visualize that you're grabbing onto all of this kind of negative energy and maybe emotions or energy in your body, and just grab onto it as you breathe in, and as you exhale, you're going to feel that sensation rising back up through your shoulders and down your arms and out your fingertips, and you're going to feel that negative energy kind of release out of your fingertips. So go ahead, if you want to close your eyes. A lot of folks feel that's most comfortable. You can close your eyes and go ahead and take a deep breath in all the way down into your belly. Grab onto any of that negative emotion, feelings, and as you exhale, have it flow up your shoulders, down your arms, and out your fingertips. And go ahead and do about 5 of those. Okay, well, great job. That's your first meditation practice there. So hopefully you're feeling is there's a lot of different techniques out there. And we did ones like eating meditation, walking meditations, and one in particular that we did was, it's called the body scan meditation. And a lot of you have probably done this, where you kind of scan your body and look at the different sensations that you're having in your body. And I wanted to share, I have a visual aid here real quick, so you guys can see this. But this was a study that was done in Europe a few years back. They took about 1,000 participants, and they hooked them up to different sensors, and then they talked about different emotions, and then they told the folks testing where they felt those sensations in their body when they thought of a negative emotion or thought. And you can see at a neutral state, you don't have a lot of sensations going on in your body. You're pretty much, everything's kind of shut down. That could be like a sleep when you're sleeping. And then, but kind of on the flip side of that, on the one end of the spectrum, you'll see happiness. Your whole body lights up with sensation, and you just feel really good. And you can see that the sensations are felt all throughout the body. And similarly, love. You can see that how folks were feeling love. And notice folks who are feeling depression, or they thought of a depressing thought or an emotion, their body then again shut down, and there were no sensations. So we have really tight integration between our thoughts, emotions, and our body. And so it's really interesting. Sometimes each of those can kind of precede one another. If you have an ailment with your body, sometimes that can cause you to start having negative thoughts or emotions. And then on the flip side, if you're having negative thoughts and emotions, sometimes you can cause ailments with your body. So there's kind of a chicken and the egg thing there, but what's really important is that you can understand that a little bit better as you learn to meditate and get kind of reintegrate the three together. So that's what this meditation is designed to do. So with that, I have the meditation here. I'm going to read it. It's pretty lengthy, and didn't memorize it all. So I'd invite all of you again to kind of get into a comfortable position. I'm going to go ahead and talk you through this. So this is called the body scan meditation. Begin by making yourself comfortable. Sit in a chair and allow your back to be straight but not stiff, and with your feet flat on the ground. You could also do this practice standing if you prefer, or you can lie down on the floor or on a bed. Your hands could be resting gently in your lap or at your side. Allow your eyes to close or remain open with a soft gaze. Now take several long, slow, deep breaths. Breathing in fully and exhaling slowly. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose or mouth. Feel your stomach expand on an inhale and relax and let go as you exhale. Begin to let go of the noises around you. Begin to shift your attention from outside to inside yourself. If you are distracted by sounds in the room, simply notice this and bring your focus back to your breathing. Now, slowly bring your attention down to your feet. Begin observing the sensations in your feet. You might want to wiggle your toes a little, feeling them against your socks or shoes. But just notice without judgment. You might imagine sending your breath down to your feet as if the breath is traveling through the nose, through the lungs, through the abdomen, all the way to your feet. And then back up again, out through your nose and lungs. Perhaps you don't feel anything at all, and that's fine too. Just allow yourself to feel the sensation of not feeling anything. you're ready, allow your feet to dissolve in your mind's eye and move your attention up your ankles, calves, knees, and thighs, and observe the sensation you are experiencing throughout your legs. Breathe into and breathe out of the legs. To wander during this exercise, gently notice it without judgment and bring your mind back to your breathing and noticing the sensations in your legs. If you notice any discomfort, pain, or stiffness, don't judge it. Just simply notice it and observe how all the sensations rise and fall, shift and change moment to moment. Notice how there is no sensation that is permanent. And just observe and allow the sensations to be in the moment just as they are. On the next exhale, allow the legs to dissolve in your mind and move to the sensations in your lower back and pelvis, softening and releasing as you breathe in and out. Slowly move your attention up to your middle back and your upper back. Become curious about the sensations here. You may become aware of sensations in the muscle, temperature, or points of contact with the furniture, floor, or bed. And with each out-breath, you may let go of tension that you are carrying. Gently shift your focus to your stomach and all the internal organs here. Perhaps you notice the feeling of clothing, the process of digestion, or the belly rising or falling with each breath. If you notice opinions arising about these areas, gently let them go and return to noticing the sensations. As you continue to breathe, bring your awareness to the chest and the heart region. Take special notice of your heartbeat. Observe how the chest rises during the inhale and how the chest falls during the exhale. Let go of any judgments that may arise. On the next out breath, shift the focus to your hands and fingertips. See if you can channel your breathing into and out of this area as you're breathing into and out of your hands. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breathing and the sensations in your hands. On the next out breath, shift the focus and bring your awareness up into your arms. Observe the sensations or lack of sensations that may be occurring there. You might notice some difference between the left arm and the right arm, but no need to judge this. As you exhale, you may experience the arms soften and release tensions. Continue to breathe, and now shift focus to the neck, shoulder, and throat. This is an area where we often have significant tension. Be with the sensations here. It could be tightness, rigidity, or holding. You may notice the shoulders moving along with the breath. Let go of any thoughts or stories you are telling about this area. As you breathe, feel the tension rolling off your shoulders. On the next out breath, shift your focus and direct your attention to the head and face, the eyes, the nose, the ears, and the mouth. Observe all the sensations occurring here. Notice the movement of the air as you breathe into or out of the nostrils or the mouth. As you exhale, you might notice the softening of any tension you may be holding in your head or face. Let your attention expand out to include the entire body as a whole. Bring into your awareness to the top of your head, all the way to the bottom of your toes. Feel the gentle rhythm of the breath as it moves throughout the body. As you come to the end of this practice, take a full, deep breath, taking in all the energy of this practice, and exhale fully. When you're ready, open your eyes and return your attention to the present moment. As you become fully alert and awake, congratulate yourself for taking this time today for self-care and contributing to your well-being.
Hello. Thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
That was
hopefully
really good.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
Yes, I've done the body scan meditation before.
What was your experience?
You know, it was really interesting because you're sitting there thinking about your ears, you're thinking about, you know, your cheeks, and you're moving down, and you think like, what is the exact thing I should be thinking about? Like, am I supposed to be feeling them? I don't know. It was interesting, it was interesting to go through all of them. So
Yeah, it really does. Do you feel kind of that reintegration though, with all the different things you kind of take for granted as you go throughout your day, right? And
yeah, you kind of forget.
when was the last time I focused on my toes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
for sure.
Yeah, unless when it's cold outside. Yeah.
I know. Very true. Well, we're going through some questions from the audience, and Kimberly did ask if we could put your visual aids on our website afterwards.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes.
Happy to share those. Yep.
So we'll add those to our Mindful Moments 2019 website after this presentation. And again, we'll have David's recording this Facebook Live. We'll have it on our website, and we'll also have it on our Facebook page underneath the video tab. So you'll be able to watch this again and then get all the feedback that you need. So this is a great time if you have any questions about meditation for David. So anything that comes to mind, please let us know. We'll take a few minutes for questions. In the meantime, I've got a few more questions for David, and I've been trying to practice some meditation myself, and you run into some issues. So sometimes meditating makes me a little sleepy, like I get really relaxed.
Yeah.
So can I avoid falling asleep if that's an issue?
Yeah, for me, that's a great question. It comes up a lot. You might work with the time of day that you meditate. I know some folks are more tired at different points of the day, so you might find a time that you feel most energetic, whatever that would be, and if you can get a little bit of time to meditate at that point is always pretty good. If you tend to fall asleep a lot, laying down is probably not something you'd want to do when you meditate. You want to be sitting up. There are some really great meditations that involve movement too, and so you can meditate while walking, and so walking meditation is a really fun one, and that's really neat to focus on being in the present moment. And there's some others where you do movement, kind of different body movements and things.
Is that maybe like a Tai Chi type of movement?
Tai Chi is actually kind of very similar to that, what you would do there. So those may be some good ways to kind of still get the benefits of meditation. And like I said, different times of the day always works pretty well too. And,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. So also thinking about meditation and mindfulness, we've talked about some of the health benefits. It is Heart Month, so we kind of think about meditation lowering our heart rate and kind of our stress levels. So it seems like a big benefit, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually gave this presentation to our provider leader group a few years back, and they were funny. They wanted a little bit more tangible evidence that this did anything for them, and so they all took their resting heart rate before we started the exercise, and then they took it after, and they did say that their heart rate lowered after we did the exercise. So they thought that was great. So
yeah, I've noticed with the guided meditations that I've done, I feel lighter afterwards.
Yeah,
like my whole body just feels lighter, and I'm like, I feel really relaxed. So, but it also has taken me going through several guided meditations to get to that point.
Absolutely, but lowered heart rate for sure is definitely one of the benefits that you'll get from meditation.
Fantastic. So one more question, and then we'll move on. Actually, maybe Kimberly has another question here. So speaking of moving meditation, do you have any recommendations on meditations or mantras to use when walking a labyrinth?
Ooh, I do. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, but I'm happy to post some information on the site, as Jamie mentioned. But I do have some that are really great. And one thing, when I'm doing a walking meditation, I'm really focused on the body sensations. So each foot movement you can think of in segments. And so when you're lifting your foot off the ground, you would be thinking lifting, moving, placing, and you can kind of repeat that over and over again. It gets you really grounded in the present moment and what you're doing through walking meditation. But as far as mantras go, I could definitely send you a few and post them on the site. I do have a couple. Just didn't know off the top of my head, but the lifting, moving, placing is one that I do, and I even do that between meetings. Walking in the office here, I'll think about that as I'm going from point A to B. We tend to go on autopilot a lot of the time when we're moving. We're walking around the office or wherever we're at.
Even at home,
making dinner or grocery store, wherever you're at, it's really great to just think about being mindful and being present, thinking about the actual movement that you're doing. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, great, David. I super appreciate this. If there are any questions afterwards, we'll be sure to answer those. All the information we went over today we'll have on our Mindful Moments 2019 website. So please visit the website, consider registering if you're interested. As far as any lingering questions, like I said, if you want to add those to the comments, we'll be sure to answer those. We'll consult David before we do, make sure they're qualified answers. And we hope that you enjoyed this guided meditation. We hope you get more interested in meditation and looking through all the resources that are out there. So thank you again, David.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.